Okay, this is the engine bay of a 1966 Plymouth Barracuda, not a Cuda, a Barracuda. And it's a really nice, impressive engine compartment. A couple things I want to point out before we go any further. I just happened to notice it. It has the original Chrysler Certicard, the little credit card for warranty whenever this car was new. It's still intact on its original holder in the car. Also, it does have a fender tag on it also. Of course, this isn't the correct configuration. This car was built as in 1966. At this point, it has a 360 engine in it. You can see it's a complete fresh rebuild. It does have a dual plane Mopar aluminum intake manifold on it, a Carter AFB Edelbrock carburetor with a electric choke on it, Presto-like distributor. Original equipment style plug wires. I don't think they're high silicone, but they may be, but they appear to be just a regular set of plug wires. New fuel filter on it. You can see a new alternator, new water pump, absolutely brand new radiator in it. It does have a transistor ignition system in it, which has been updated from when it was new. It's a nice car. This thing has a lot of integrity to it. New battery in it. Donnie probably just put that there. It has a nice shut-off, which every one of these cars is going to end up with. We're going to start putting them on all our vehicles. Core support's never been disrupted in any way. Nice engine compartment. The exhaust manifolds are the 340 hypo type of manifold that everybody seems to try to find now that everyone put headers on them way back when. Now you can't find these guys. They're pretty expensive to buy. This does have a set. It has a set of aluminum valve pan covers on it. Correct style radiator hose top and bottom. Flex fan on it. New belts. Donnie puts new belts on just about everything that we have. Don't see any Certicard yet. I pointed out that Jeff pointed out the Certicard is still there, and it definitely is. It's a nice, impressive engine compartment. It has a dual-stage master cylinder in it. It does not have power steering or power brakes, but it's a small, light car. It really doesn't hamper you in any way from using it. It's a nice, straight car. Very well done. It's a very well done engine compartment. It makes a lot of torque, a lot of horsepower. We already did this video kind of backwards because of the possibility of rain today, and we did drive it. The car runs out absolutely as nice and strong as you could ever hope one of these guys to run. We're going to go around the rest of it and show you whatever we can. Okay, today we're going to present a 1966 Plymouth Barracuda. Really a nice car. We did drive this one prior to doing this. We did it a little backwards today because of the rain outside, but a lot of clear on this car. You can see the stripes, but you can't feel them, and it's certainly much better than a driver quality paint job. Very nice fit and finish on this car. These turn signal indicators are functional. We know that because we tried it whenever we drove the car. The gap from the hood to the fenders is very, very nice on the car. The grill area is it's cast aluminum, and it's very, very nice. There's no windows broken in it. The chrome plating on it is in excellent condition. The front bumper chrome is very, very nice condition with no scuffs or marks or anything on top of the bumper or indentures on the side of it. Parking lights nice and bright, crystal clear, just the way they should be. And you got a Hangster's plate in the front there too. Again, look at the gap on this fender to hood. Barracuda designation in the front, bright wheel lip moldings, and going down the side of it, rocker panel moldings also. The wiper arms and blades are incorrect blades, the correct arms though. Not tinted glass, just plain glass on it. Top of the dash is very nice and clean. Where it transitions to the base of the windshield, the dash pad itself is very nice, no indentures or cracks or marks on it whatsoever. The chrome on these wing areas, which is normally deteriorated, is good. Really nice condition on this car. Wipes, whiskers, nice and fresh. Check this window fitment out. The front glass to the rear quarter glass, and drift rail. Got a broom dent here, another one here, and another slight one here. So it had a couple of brooms dropped, I guess, at some point of its life. Door molding and the edges on them, your crimped edges are really nice and clean, the correct style. Molded armrest on the interior of this, your bright work, the door handle and the window crank, just as fresh and clean as you could get. Nice dashboard in this car. It's very, very nicely done. Again, you can see a little bit better whenever Devin shows you the our drive video on it. The interior is absolutely beautiful. The carpeting's nice and fresh looking. Front and back seat, which the back seat is a throw-down rear seat also, and it's in excellent condition. There's seat belts in the front and seat belts in the rear of this guy too. Something that we have to make sure that we have belts in the front at least. Door panels are very nice condition. Your seals, your door sills are all nice and fresh and clean and new. Excellent condition car, and the key to the whole operation is a 4-speed on the original style console in the center with a Hurst shifter. Great addition to this car. Really makes the car. Nice door gaps front and back. I don't know if you noticed, but there's a huge back window on this thing. It's a Barracuda, and it just has a huge piece of glass in the back here. The side of the car, laser straight. There's no imperfections looking down the side of it. No paint issues or anything. Absolutely none. The wheels are 14-inch steel wheels with a set of dog dish center caps, and they put trim rings on them. Red line tires, which are radials also, but the red lines add a little bit of a pop to this guy. Trim around the back end. This is usually deteriorated and a lot of patina on the chrome. This one has absolutely none. Same as the back of this. There's a little bit of patina on this side here, and nothing through the center, and then a little tiny bit on this side, but not very much. Back bumper, absolutely flawless, just like the front one. Again, nice fitment of the rear bumper, the same as it was on the front. The trunk, someone's put carpeting down on it, but let's see if I can lift this up and show you. Still has its original trunk. From what I can see, it doesn't appear to have been replaced, and it has a wooden cover for where the spare tire goes on this vehicle. I don't know if there's one under there or not. I can't really voice an opinion that way, one way or the other. New rubber on the back here to seal your trunk. And again, that seat goes down, so you could literally lay down front to back in this car, or put skis in or anything else that you needed to carry of any length. Going down the passenger side of it, again, there's no marks or dents or absolutely anything on this vehicle. You can't really pick anything out on it. Door's not closed, but we'll close it and then we'll open it again. This trim is usually deteriorated, that presses into the rubber windshield and the backlight here. And this one isn't. This is nice, clean. I believe it's aluminum, and it has a plastic coating on it, but it's in excellent condition. So is the chrome here. Again, wipes, whiskers are good. And again, look at the window fitment on this guy. It just doesn't get any better than that. There's absolutely no dents or marks on this drip molding. Look at this gap. Just as sweet a gap as you'd ever hope to find on any vehicle. And there it is inside again. You can see our door panel is just as fresh and clean as the other side was. Carpeting just as nice as you could ever hope to find in any vehicle. And there's the guy right there, the 4-speed. This is a 3-pedal car with a Hurst ball on it and a Hurst shifter, and just an absolute blast to drive. It does have a auxiliary gauge underneath the dash for oil pressure. And it's just a really, really nicely put together car. Did I close it? I didn't. Gap in the front, the same as it was on that back part of the door. Look at this. Look at all the gaps on this. This is just as nice a fitment as you could hope gap-wise. Barracuda in the front, and again we have functional turn signals on the front fenders, left and right. 65 and 66 Barracudas. Everybody went crazy over these cars when they first were released by Chrysler. They were kind of a neat vehicle because that back part of the seat does fold forward, and then the tray in the back part of the trunk, or front part of the trunk, actually folds down. So you have enough room there that you could put you could probably put an 8-foot long item in this vehicle with no problem whatsoever. If you fold the passenger seat forward, you could probably put a 12-foot piece in there. They were kind of a neat vehicle. They were an overly large vehicle. They were small, but they still had a lot of room inside of them. They had a lot of character to them, and there are very few of these guys left on the market. But we have one here at Hangsters in Daytona Beach, Florida. It's got a really healthy 360 in it. It's a 4-speed, little 3-pedal car. It's got a better than average, much better than average paint and fit and finish on it. and it's a great little car for the money, and it's in Daytona Beach at Hangsters. Okay, this is the undercarriage of our first generation Plymouth Barracuda. New tie rod ends on it. The engine, you can see, is a completely new engine in the vehicle. The block is painted black. However, the remainder of the engine is painted orange. The motor is a 360. It is not a 318 or 340. It is a 360 engine with it. It is a 4-speed transmission. Has a new clutch and pressure plate and throwout bearing. There's no cover over the flywheel or the clutch area. Allows the air to get in there and keep things cool for you. Conventional starter on it. New tie rod ends on it. Drum brakes in the front. It has apparently newer shocks in the front also. 4-speed 833 Chrysler transmission in it. The drop downs in the front fenders are very, very nice. They haven't been jacked up on through the years. They still look very nice. The subframes, there's some pretty good dents in it right here, and another one here from being jacked up through the years. This side has been either reinforced or reconstructed for some reason. You can see it does have an entire new section on the frame right here, the subframe. Very nicely done though. It's not like it's a botched up job. You really have to look to detect that there is work done on it, but I'm telling you that there is. The subframe has been reinforced with some outside plating on it. The standard cast iron exhaust manifolds are still intact on the vehicle, and I'm going to call them 2 1/8 inch. They may be 2 inch, but they're 2 or 2 1/8 inch primary pipes coming off, going toward the Flowmaster style mufflers. It does have a crossover section pipe on it to give it a little more mid-range. The floor pans, I can't really tell if they're original floor pans or replacements. At any rate, they are really nice. They're not deteriorated anywhere. You can see where they go and attach to the rocker panels just the way they should. Brake line, still the original style brake line intact. It has the original parking brakes still hooked up and functional. The bracing for your floor pans appears to all be original too. So again, I can't really tell you for sure whether these have been replaced or if it is the original floor pan assemblies on it. But at any rate, they are in good shape and don't need attention in any way. Subframes in the back. Again, dents here, dent here, dent here, and a few more here, and a big dent right here. There are a couple of pulls where somebody in shipment has hooked onto it to tie it down and just overdid it and just pulled these mount holes in the subframes back. Torque boxes are still very nice on it. They have a lot of integrity to them. A multi-leaf set of springs on them on both sides have a nice curvature to them. 8 3/4 heavy-duty Mopar rear end. I don't know if it's posi or what the rear end ratio is, but Donnie will have it up on a spec sheet to coincide with the description of this vehicle. It has a newer set of shocks in the rear. I'm definitely going to call these 2-inch pipes going out of the Flowmaster mufflers. Drum brakes in the back to coincide with the drums up front. The gas tank is the original. From what I can see, it's the original tank, but again, it may not be. It may be a replacement, although all the lines and wires and everything appear to have originality to them. The drop downs in the quarters have been redone, and you can see they're nice and fresh, and they have been redone during the restoration of this vehicle. The subframes continue on over the differential and to the back plate that ties the two of them together in the rear, and again, they're very, very nice. The rear section is nice. The well where your spare tire goes is not smashed up or dented in any way. It's still nice and round. There's a plate on the rear of the subframe toward the back end of it here also, and a really stout looking set of shackles for the rear of the springs, leaf springs that are on the vehicle. It's a nice car. It has a lot of structural integrity to it yet. Mopar's 4-speed transmission in it, brand new speedometer cable that goes with it also. I mean, literally brand new. We just put it on. You can see it has a new clutch pressure plate. The engine is a fresh build on a 360 engine, and floor pans are very nice and solid. There's no leaks at this point on this engine anywhere. You can see everything is nice and fresh and clean, and it doesn't show any indications of any leakage at all at this point. So we're going to go for a ride and see what this little guy runs like. Okay, this is the interior. Actually, we're going to show you all the gauges and functional parts of our first generation Barracuda. Horn works just like it should. The turn signals, you can see them out in the fender. There's the left one just beating itself to death out there, and there's our right one working just the way it should also. And apparently all our gauges work. We don't know about speedometer, but we'll tell you shortly. Temperature is up about a third of the way, and we did have it running. Our gas gauge shows between 1/2 and 3/4, which is unusual, but I know Jeff just got fuel in this for us. Oil pressure gauge is functioning here. It's also functioning down here. We do have an auxiliary oil pressure gauge in it. And the alternator is charging just the way it should. We did do the wipers, we did the turn signals. The fan for your defrost is also functioning just the way it should. Working just the way it should. You don't have to worry about the radio working because there isn't any. It's a nice car inside. It does have factory air conditioning here. Works just fine. It's 4-speed. We're going to go for a ride. Also, it has a vacuum gauge, really rare piece. When you give it gas, obviously your vacuum drops off, but whenever you let off, it does pull up vacuum. So vacuum gauge is functioning as it should. So we do have all gauges functioning as they should. It's a nice little car. We're going to go for a ride and see how this guy runs. Nice running car, very, very smooth shifting car. Tranny shifts like silk. Now, when I let go of the steering wheel, it has a slight tug to the left, and I don't know, it's probably, could be tire pressure, it could be alignment, I don't know what it is, but it does have a little bit of a pull to the left. All your gauges are functioning. Also, the speedometer at this point is functioning as it should be. So all our gauges do work. They all do function, including the turn signals. Nice running car. It's real quiet, real tight. Interior appointments are very nice on the car. Devin will show you some real high resolution photos of this interior, but it's a nice interior. It's a nice cheery orangish red color with, you know, darker red interior accents on it. Fold down rear seat. Just a nice old first generation Barracuda. We're going to turn around here and give it a little shot and see how this old 360 pulls for us. Got a guy turning there. See, the car pulls like it should. I mean, it definitely pulls strong. It's a good running 360, really torquey, nice and responsive. We got interrupted here. It would have been nice to crank it up a little bit harder, but as you can see, there's traffic all over the place today. We really can't do that, but everything functions as it should. It's a nice running car. It really is. Tranny shifts like silk. I can't believe how nice and smooth this transmission is. Nice running car. Very, very slight pull to the left. You know what? It might have been brakes because now it's hardly doing it at all. Hardly at all. So it may be just the fact that the drum brakes may have had a little bit of a drag on the left side of it. We didn't do brakes, no hands. We're going to do that right now. There. So it stops, brakes, no hands. Straight. So we're good. So that's what it was whenever we did it initially.